All right, my presentation is on Abigail Adams. I'll start with her early life. Abigail Adams was born on November 22nd, 1744 in Massachusetts. She was well educated, and her father was a minister, that's a religious leader. She was interested in history, literature, and politics, and that's what she focused on in her studies. Abigail Adams is most famous for who she married. In 1764, she married John Adams and had 6 children, including John Quincy Adams. John Adams would later become the 2nd president of the United States, and John Quincy Adams would also be president. In the picture in the center, this is a picture of Abigail painted in 1810, and this is a portrait of both her and her husband, John Adams. Now, during the American Revolution, Abigail Adams did not fight in the war. She was not a soldier, but she did important work at home that supported her family. She's also famous for the advice she gave to her husband as he was working on creating the new government for the United States. Up here, I have a picture of one of her letters. A famous quote from one of her letters is at the bottom. It says, "Remember the ladies," because she wanted to make sure women's rights were considered in the new government as well. Going back to her role in the Revolution, when her husband was away, she managed the family farm. I have a picture of her family farm in the bottom of my poster. This is in Quincy, Massachusetts, and you can go visit it today. She also handled her family's finances because it was her at home with her children. And that connects to her challenges. It was difficult to manage all the household responsibilities under difficult wartime conditions. She faced personal and financial uncertainty as the war disrupted their daily life. The last section I have is her impact and legacy. Abigail Adams is considered one of America's first women's rights advocates. She also set an example of intelligence, resilience, and political engagement for women in the early nation. And she was an important advisor to John Adams, who again would continue to be the 2nd president of the United States. That is my presentation on Abigail Adams.
I have a question.
Yes, Mr. Rispoli.
Ms. Rogers, how did you come about to choose that letter, and do you know what that letter is about?
Sure, so this is a letter she wrote. If you look at the date, it says, I believe February 20th, 1783. And I chose this letter because it's the one with her famous quote, "Remember the ladies," that she wrote to her husband. So since that's her most famous quote, I chose the letter with that quote.